The Alphafly 3 is not what wins marathons anymore. Not London, not Boston, and I was 2 clicks away from buying another pair. So I did the homework first, and the shoe that came back lighter was the one I had already written off. Here is the actual problem, and it is not a shoe problem. A race day shoe costs about 300 euros. You will wear it twice a year. After a handful of races, the foam is done, and you buy it again. That is a lot of money for a thing you barely use, and you cannot test it in a shop, because the only test that counts happens at kilometer 32, when your legs are gone and there is nothing left to change. So you do what everyone does. You look up what is out there. You read what other runners say. You check what times get run on them, and whether the people who win races are wearing them at all. I did all 4. 3 of them told me something I did not expect, and 1 of them changed which shoe I would buy. Let me take you through it in the order I did. Start with what is actually on the shelf, because the prices tell you something before you read a single review. List price on the Alphafly 3 is 310 euros. The Hoka Cielo X1 3.0, 275. The Hoka Rocket X3, 250. And if you want the shoe the world record was set in, the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro Evo asks 500 for a shoe built to last a couple of races. Now look at what they cost today. The Cielo is 206. The Alphafly is between 215 and 264, depending on the color. And one colorway of the Rocket X3 is 125 euros. Every single race shoe on that page is marked down. Hold on to that, because it is the first clue about what is coming. Below all of it sits a second shelf the buying guides skip, and you will need it later. Plated trainers. The Zoom Fly 6, 136. The Adidas Evo SL, 120, and no carbon plate at all. Remember those 2. Now the part I thought would be the easy one. Who wins on what? Because if you are going to spend 300 euros, the reasonable thing is to buy the shoe that keeps winning. So I looked at this year's majors. London went to Adidas. Sebastian Saw, Yomif Kajelcha, Tigist Asefa, all on the Adizero Adios Pro Evo, all with world records attached. Boston was won in an Under Armour, with an Asics second, and the Nike on that podium was an Alphafly 4 prototype, a shoe you cannot buy, because it does not exist in a shop yet. Look at that list again. The Alphafly 3 is not on it. The shoe I was about to buy again for the second time is the one the fastest people in the world have already moved past. So I went to look at Hoka, expecting a soft brand with no racing history. And I found Alex Masai, 3rd in Chicago, 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 37 seconds, in the Cielo X1 3.0, a personal best, on the marshmallow brand. That is when I stopped reading reviews and started reading measurements. One lab cuts every shoe in half and measures all of them with the same tool. Here's what it found. The Hoka Cielo X1 3.0 weighs 193 grams. The Alphafly 3 weighs 201. The Hoka is the lighter shoe. Under the forefoot, where you push off, the Hoka gives you 31.1 millimeters of foam. The Nike gives you 29.6. And at the heel, it is not close. 44.5 millimeters against 38. So the shoe with the soft reputation is taller, lighter, and more aggressive than the shoe everybody calls the maximum stack marathon shoe. Every assumption I walked in with was backwards. And that is exactly where I nearly made the expensive mistake, because there is a number under all of this that nobody puts on the box. These shoes are tuned for the forces of an elite runner. When researchers tested a Vaporfly at 12 kilometers an hour, roughly 3.5-hour marathon pace, the benefit dropped to 1.4%. At faster paces, it is 2.7 to 4.2. The slower you run, the less the shoe gives back. And it is not just that the gift gets smaller, it starts charging you. At an easier pace, you are not landing hard enough to compress the foam. So the plate rolls you through your toe off before you are ready. And a 44mm heel is a lot of shoe to keep straight. Think of a fast car on soft suspension. Wonderful while the road is smooth and you are driving hard. A handful the moment you get tired and start drifting off your line. Which is precisely what happens to your form at kilometer 35. So here's how I would actually choose. And it has almost nothing to do with the logo. If you race the marathon near 3 hours or quicker, and you still hold your form late, the Cielo X1 3.0 is the more shoe of the two, and it is lighter. Take it. Just know it comes in one width only. If you are heavier, or your form goes late, or you have ever felt a super shoe wobble on a tired ankle, the Rocket X3 is the calmer geometry, and today it costs you the same or less than the Cielo. And if you are honest that your marathon is a 4-hour marathon, the interesting answer is that neither of these is where your money should go first. Buy the plated trainer, race in it, and spend the difference on the thing that actually makes you faster, which is another 6 months of training. One more thing, and it saves you a shoe. Do not run your race shoe in training. That foam has one season in it, and every tempo run you do in your Alphafly is a race you are spending early. That is what the 120 euro trainer is for. And if the shoe turns out not to suit you, at All For Running you have 60 days to send it back, $3.95 for the label, and with Klarna, you can run in them first and pay afterwards. There is no reason to guess. That is the whole thing. I do not care which brand sponsors the winner. I care which shoe is worth your money at your pace, which is the number none of these companies put on the box. Next up, the Carbon Racers ranked by who they actually fit. Bring your foot shape.